a little bit cool now, huh?
Then they magnify on my head from the sun and they burn.
Yeah.
They're going to start my hair on fire.
The glasses on top of your head will burn holes in your hair.
And if I put them on my face, then my cheeks get all real red.
Wow.
Something good though. I'm not even sure where that is anymore. Somewhere.
Yeah. Can I hold this up?
No, we're not going to open it. He's going to take it with you. Yeah. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to you.
The second time today.
Yeah. He got just over the candle.
Good. Okay.
Yay!
The first one, at least it got kind of lit. The first one.
And it's gotten so much closer to being on the cake. John?
The candles.
The candles.
You gotta do it one more time.
Yeah, with the kids.
I felt the cold coming on, and I always feel like if you feel it coming on, if you take a hot toddy, catch it before. So I figured I didn't have alcohol in the house, so I went to the bookstore to get myself a bottle of bourbon or something, cheap liquor. And I'm looking through the shelf trying to figure out what to buy. And this man comes behind me and he said, "Oh, because I was looking at A&A, H&A." He said, "You don't want that stuff. You want this stuff over here." I said, "No, I'm using it for medicinal purposes only." I bet he thought, "Oh yeah."
I've heard that before.
And he was like, "Me too."
Right. Smart enough. I was just in a panic, and I didn't know what to do. The thing was not in park, and that's why it wouldn't start. When I flipped it over, if I would have put it in park and started it, it would have started up. But
So you walked home and told
no,
John?
a policeman picked me up.
Oh, it took you
And that's even better news.
That's even better news.
Then you have to go back and get the car with him.
And it was, there was company there.
That's why
You're going, yay, company.
Did you know when my mother came from California going to Ohio? My mother was a terrible driver.
We
She
remember.
really was. Yeah.
Yeah, she drove cross
Not on
country
the
to go.
train? What? Yeah.
I turned the car over too.
Yeah, do you remember
in
that?
Kansas,
I
it was a
remember that.
rainstorm.
Frankie
and-
would let it go on any further.
And the car, she flipped it over, and she had some more. She had acid in the back seat. She ruined all these pictures that we have in our family pictures. Big
Yeah,
ones.
they had all the
Just
stuff
throwing
for
them
etching.
away.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had
the
some for
Yeah,
that.
and they ruined the
Lillian
pictures,
took them.
spilled in the
Lillian
back
has
seat,
the pictures.
and they tilted it. They turned the car upright, and Frank drove us home. I don't know how I got involved in it. I wasn't there. But in New York, he was going like 90 miles an hour on the
Oh, yeah,
freeway.
she was crazy.
Yeah,
He was a crazy driver, too, yeah.
But I remember when they drove that car to our house.
Yeah,
That
my
whole
mother did.
beat-up Ford, all
She didn't want
the
to
top
drive
was all
anymore.
crushed.
Yeah, because it flipped over. It flipped over. They uprighted it, and she went on her way. And she was
Frankie
so
drove the
scared.
car.
Okay, and then I'm like, okay, now what I'm going to do? And then, next right turn, the other headlight goes out. So then at that point, I was like, you know what? Car is a piece of shit. I'm going to die.
I need that side first.
He pulled that
No, the
car
other
into
side
the
first, Ma.
driveway.
You should eat the
and
other
just
side
got
first.
out and walked in the house and didn't say a word to me. Just, just like slam the door. My first driving lesson with him. What?
I tried to tell you to eat that side first, because this is the end, and everything's going to fall
Oh yeah, you know what he did to me? My first driving lesson.
No, Ma, you
Now
eat it.
I had been taking driver's ed, but
Go ahead, bite this side.
when we started the car in driver's ed, they always had, and it was a stick, they always had it in neutral. So you could put the key in and turn and the car would start. Well, I didn't know anything about Daddy leaving it in gear and you had to press the clutch. So I'm like, I've been begging him, please let me practice, He finally gave me the keys to go start the car. I go out there, I turn the key, and the car jumps forward. And he's at the front door watching. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, try it again. The car jumps forward. He goes, God damn it! Jesus Christ! I thought you said you knew how to drive. And he slammed the door in my face.
You can laugh now.
Yeah. Well,
What was it?
around cornbread.
Irish.
What kind? Irish?
Cornbread. No,
Cornbread,
I'm sorry.
banana,
Cornbread is rye bread.
What is this? This is lunch?
roll raw, Lunch.
Lunch? This is lunch.
Oh, no.
I love China. You
Yeah,
people
are
eat
you-
different hours here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Are you cooking for us later? What's for dinner?
Midnight snacks.
Yeah.
They're not going home, Dennis.
Turn the tickets in.
And he had a little hole in the back of it. And Karen came up to him and she's like, "You have a hole in your shirt." And she started making fun of him. And she took her finger and pulled it and ripped the shirt right off of him. And if it had been either one of us, we would have been there. Oh, yeah. But,
Oh my God.
yeah, she did. And he thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Who thought it was funny?
My dad.
Your dad did think that was funny. But if
they had
I
did,
thought
it
it wouldn't have been
Favorite.
funny.
Yeah. But you know, one day your mother was going someplace and she asked me to watch you kids, and I was, you know, I lived a little ways from you guys. And Barry was a little guy, and so I went over, and Barry had a messy pants. Was it Barry? Or Richard? It was Barry. And I said, well, let me change his pants. And Karen said, no, I'll change his pants. I said, good, goodbye. I should change them. I mean, I didn't want to change his pants.
Karen used to dress the Barry up in the doll clothes, little girl doll clothes, and take him for rides in the stroller. I remember taking him.
Maybe
Because we had those baby dolls that were life size.
Never mind.
My parents, I don't know where they were probably making Barry and Richard, you know. But
All
I mean,
remember
Richard.
is these stories like, I think Karen taking you kids down in the woods or
Oh my God, yeah.
down the cliffs of Rocky
Do you
River.
remember? Yeah. Do you remember how Rocky River rode around the park?
Yeah,
And
right.
it would come out by Memphis Road.
Well, that road I don't remember.
Okay, it was like miles away into Cleveland. Well, Karen would take us, and Mom wouldn't get out of bed, you know. I mean, we'd just get up, get some cereal.
These cliffs are like...
What? Oh, that's okay. She knows those stories.
Just making sure.
She's heard them before. Karen would usually tell them.
These kids are...
Yeah, because she'd take us down the hill, down the cliff, and by the Rocky River. Karen, Barry was only about 2. He was just walking. So I had to be about 5, so Karen was about 7 or 8. So there we are, down by the river, you know, with the currents.
Oh, the real thing.
Yeah, with the real, yeah, it's a choppy little Rocky River, crooked river. Barry loses one of his shoes. So instead of, you know, Karen decides, well, we have to follow that shoe. So we're like tracing, running, you know, trying to get the shoe, and it keeps hitting rocks. And we followed that thing from Berea into Cleveland.
Probably all of them.
And we finally, you know, we couldn't catch it, and so we came climbing up the cliff, and we didn't know where the hell we were. And the Paisleys, remember the Paisleys?
Mm-hmm.
They live next door to us. They happened to have been having a picnic. And we came climbing out of the, yeah, they were the neighbors, yeah.
Neighbors, weren't they?
No, he lived next door to us.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of other people. Oh my God!
And they're like,
school
what are you
teacher.
doing out here, you know? Karen's like, oh, well, we walked along the river.
And how old was Karen then?
About 7 or 8.
Oh my
She was about 31.
She stole or borrowed one of his. You had that the Terminal Tower letter opener. It was a souvenir.
Oh yeah.
And she took us into the woods in the fall when all the goldenrod was blooming, and it was covered with bees. You remember the back how it was all woods beyond the field? Yes. And Barry to this day is allergic to bees. He has to carry a thing, you know, where he stabs himself. Yeah. They went after him like a little hunk of honey. He was stung so bad. He had bees clinging to his clothes. And she throws the letter opener. She throws the letter opener and goes running to the house and leaves me and Barry in the woods. I took a stick and just started beating the bees, you know, and grabbing Barry, trying to find my way back to the house. And I must have been tiny because I remember that goldenrod was like as big as me, you know, and covered with bees. It was.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
We never went to the hospital for anything. You know, if it was bleeding in deep, they put one of those butterfly bandages on it.
That would be me.
And other than that, it was like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I went to the doctor and the hospital for everything.
No.
With my kids. Oh, God, I think we lived there.
Oh, so lucky the teachers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, David.
honest, no.
Yeah, it was. Because he was imitating his dad. He was only about 18 months old. And I don't think they gave him these.
I said, I remember the
either. I think they just grew up then.
Oh, yeah, speaking of voices.
I remember
Your mother won't be happy you telling us these stories.
What is she going to do? Come here and complain about it?
She's going to come here and clear her name.
Next time.
Yeah, in the face of
Oh, watch out. And you were being saying pictures right now. And I said, she said,
Well, you know what? They were very nice people. But my parents partied their butts off, and everybody loved them. I mean, they belonged to all those dance clubs and everything, and always had parties at the house, and they were just like the toast of the town, you know.
really? Aww.
They were.
Well, I remember every time they came in, they were looking for a place to go square dancing.
Square dancing and round dancing.
Yeah.
They did that round dancing, which is basically ballroom dancing, and everybody learns the same. You know that my mom's still at the house, has all the routines. She's got notebooks full of the routines that are handwritten. Yeah.
Scared us all.
They're handwritten. My dad wrote out all the moves, you know, every move to each dance that they knew.
We all jumped up.
Yeah. It was like they started talking about my dad. And it was,
I don't know if everybody wanted to stay by the fireplace. Want me to set the fire up?
This rice and beans.
You guys want to sit over by the fireplace instead of over here? It might be warmer.
But everyone got to dance. Everybody's here. So I move like pick everybody out and move somewhere.
We're going to Florida.
It's a nice little